The South African Local Government Association in KwaZulu-Natal is calling on National Treasury to review how municipal infrastructure is funded. The organization says this will help municipalities to keep up with the maintenance demands. Last year, persistent heavy rain over large parts of KwaZulu-Natal resulted in widespread flooding and roads collapsing. How are municipalities now failing to spend these monies? We are joined by KwaZulu-Natal SALGA chairperson Thami Ntuli. Mr. Ntuli, good afternoon. Welcome to Today on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time. Firstly, as we begin, can we start with this? What is the current situation? How are municipalities currently funded? Then we can try and establish, in your view, what should change.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon to yourself and your viewers. Well, currently, what is happening with local government or the municipalities? There is the municipal infrastructure grant, which is a grant which municipalities are using to build a new infrastructure or to introduce a new infrastructure, whether it could be the halls, or it could be the access roads and other, even the provision of services such as the water. And that grant is only ring-fenced for only introducing new infrastructure, not to attend to the issues of maintenance at a larger scale. Only 15% could be ring-fenced for the repairs and maintenance. And hence, we are saying for SALGA in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, that poses a challenge owing to the realities that now, when you look at the infrastructural damage, which is caused by the disasters, the municipalities are not really coping with the repairs and maintenance. They are unable to maintain. And most of the infrastructure, on the other hand, is aging, has been there for a very long time without any disaster impacting on them. They need some kind of being repaired and maintained.
Yeah, are you saying,
when you look at yes.
So, yeah, are you saying that the current process or model in terms of dispersing the funds for infrastructure development and maintenance should be changed so that the municipalities have direct access themselves and then they can move faster in addressing challenges?
In fact, that is what we are calling for a SALGA, that there should be a provision. There are two things, in fact, which we are calling for. We are calling for more funds, which will be designated only for the repairs and maintenance, so that the municipalities will be able to handle the issues of a disaster. Like in the province of KwaZulu and other provinces, you'll recall that in April, we had the floods that destroyed the roads, the bridges. Even now, some of the roads and the bridges are not yet repaired. Destroyed the houses for the residents. They are not yet, in fact, no new houses have been built for those citizens. Hence, we are saying a SALGA for that alone. If there could be additional funds given to municipalities, that is point number one. Number two, the current MIC or the current grant which is given to municipalities, which is billions of rands, if there could be some relaxation of the regulations so that they may be accessible for the repairs and maintenance, especially in the conditions which are odd, which we are seeing now. Like in all over South Africa, you see the issue of the rains now is not like it's a normal thing to happen that in a particular season, and the impact it has on the humankind. And the municipalities are unable now to address the issues, the impacts of these, the floods and the other nature of disaster.
Okay, so basically, if I may use a different term, I don't know if it's applicable in government, local government, You are looking for two things. You are looking for ease of access to that grant, that infrastructure grant, which means there's a little bit of a decentralization so that the municipalities can move quicker, access it quicker, and act quicker.
Exactly. That is the second part. Since I said, you know, the impact, it affects directly the humankind. And people can't wait for a very long time when their houses have been destroyed, when they cannot access places where they can get some services like the towns.
Yeah, Mr. Ntuli, is that why there was a problem last year after the April floods in KwaZulu-Natal? We had national government saying there's 1 billion rand that's going to be available to help fix the infrastructure, but we kept on hearing from the KwaZulu-Natal local government saying that we can't access this money.
In fact, apart from the fact that that 1 billion rand, municipalities had to wait a very long time for that 1 billion rand. But there was an instruction to say municipalities, well, they can use the current allocation and then it will be replaced when they give that grant. But what I'm saying, as SALGA in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we don't have to wait for an instruction. If there could be a relaxation of the regulations that allow municipalities to be able to access the current eNCA grants, because the way the grants they were actually decided, they were thought that the municipalities were going to be able to collect some revenue. Unfortunately, which you have heard even the president of the country saying that was the background, and the Minister of Finance saying that was the background when they were deciding on the allocation to municipalities. But that is not realized. Hence, we see the humankind being affected adversely whenever the disaster occurs. And we are calling for this relaxation of the regulations so that they will be able to access, and we are also calling for more funds which will be allocated to municipalities so that whenever such incidents occurs, they will be able to intervene so that the humankind will be not impacted adversely.
Yeah, and the municipalities can be able to move faster in addressing the challenges. So how far are you in the process of engaging with National Treasury for more funds and the relaxation of the grant regulations?
In fact, we have many sessions, even sessions where we were interacting with the National Treasurer as SALGA, the Minister of Finance, and even with the President and even with the Minister of Culture, national and even in provinces, where we're calling for National Treasurer to allocate more funds. And we are seeing that not being realized. Hence, we are making this call so that we start even a debate that will enable the public to understand that not only the failures of municipalities are a result of the non-maintained and repaired infrastructure, but they must also have an understanding that local government is not adequately, in fact, funded to address the issues of the infrastructure damage.
Yeah, so you're addressing the issue of money and the issue of enabling the municipalities to be able to act. Now, Mr. Ntuli, would you, as KwaZulu-Natal SALGA, if you were successful, expect this if municipalities can get more funding, and also if the regulations can be relaxed, the infrastructure grant regulations can be relaxed, would you support them being applied in every province?
Definitely, because our call, KwaZulu-Natal is a rural province. Most of the municipalities are rural. Hence, even the issue of funding, since you know that the funding is actually decided based on the population. And when you talk about rural municipalities, you'll find people that they are migrating to urban municipalities. As a result, most of the municipalities, they're underfunded. And you'll find that the same situation applies to other provinces. Our call is not only based towards Natal, but our experience as the province of KwaZulu-Natal is what is persuading us to make such a call.